welcome to Cavan TV's News and Views, Ireland's first live web TV current affairs programme, with over 1.8 million viewers in 214 countries, and we are on a web TV site near you. Good evening, my name is Aine Duffy, and we bring the programme to you weekly on Fridays 7 to 8 Greenwich Mean Time. Each week we take a look at what is going on in the county and invite guests to chat live in the studio. If you have an event you want us to know about or an issue you would like discussed, well, please do email us at drumlinmedia@gmail.com. So anything interesting going on? Well, please do let us know. What's on this week? Well, it's the time of the year that evening courses started and all kinds of fitness classes begin. Also, children and students go back to school and college. We start looking forward to the long dark winter evenings and to lighting the fire again. I hear them moaning in the back room. And also we had a reprieve this week with the weather, as this week temperatures were as high as 24 degrees. But also it's time of the year to put away the barbecue and bring in the garden furniture, stock up on the winter fuels, and bring in the wood or the turf and put some oil in the fuel tank. And remember, it's only 18 more days, Fridays, until Christmas. Roadwork alert. Well, around Cavan Town, roadworks are still on. As you know, the Cavan sewage scheme is being upgraded to comply with environmental legislation and allow for the long-term development of the town. And this coming week, roadworks will be on College Street. So beware when you're coming into town, and please do plan your route. And you can update and look on the versions on Cavan County Council's website and on the AA Road Watch. So do take care when you're coming in around the town. What's in the town this weekend? Well, for some drama, you can go along to see Philip Doherty's new play, that's Pilgrim. It's a one-man show and it's with Rex Ryan. It's on tonight, Saturday night and Sunday night in the Town Hall at 8 o'clock. We go to some local town news now, and in Killashandra, the newly refurbished community centre is opening next Friday night. That's Thursday night, September the 11th, and Mick Denver plays there. Tickets are available in the post office and Multisound, so do go along there. Sheila McGovern from Bonboy emailed us from Bonboy. She emailed us to say that the McGovern Clan weekend was a brilliant success, and already they're planning next year's weekend. Well done there, Sheila. Curla, they have a newly refurbished community centre as well, and that'll be open on Friday the 12th of September with a big dance night, and doors will be opened at 8:30. Oldcastle, Pauline Rudden rang to say that the Alzheimer's Day Centre fashion show is on next Friday night. There was a mix-up, and in the local papers it was wrong, so it's next Friday night, please get that. And they are raising funds for the garage. They've already bought the bus, and they're raising funds now for garage to house the bus. And the fashion show will be in Oldcastle Town Hall on next Friday night, 8 o'clock, and tickets are €10. Cavan Hill Walkers will conquer Ben Biskin this Sunday. And if you want to join them, gather in the Orchard Car Park at 9 o'clock. All you need is a pair of boots and a packed lunch. Abelara GAA is hosting a big breakfast this Sunday morning in Abelara National School. That's from 9 to 12:30, and this is followed by a family fun day. It's just €6 for your breakfast. Please do support. Ballinea is hosting a hurling festival this Saturday. There are arranged matches between Ballinea, Brusky and Lacken, and the final will be in Cornafane, and that's to support the under-14 team players. Positive Age is organising a trip to Hungary, Austria and Slovakia, and that's from the 15th of September to the 22nd. And there's still a couple of places left, and if you want to get on there, please do ring 049 437 2838. There is a country night in Canali tonight, music by Jimmy Buckley and dancing from 11:30 to 1:30 a.m. So Sad is having a band night in the Slieve Russa tonight. That's the 6th of September. Now, as you know, this is Suicide Awareness Week, and we'd like to give you throw out some helpline numbers there. So Sad, the 24-hour emergency line is for the Cavan area is 042 966 8992. The Samaritans' new 24-hour helpline is 116 123. I'll say that again, 116 123, and that's a low-cost line. And the Aware support line is 1890 303 302. So that's 1890 303 302. So there's numbers to throw out to you there, and as I say, it's Awareness Week, and if you're feeling down anyway, needing any kind of help, please look up those helplines and do make contact. Okay, so let's get down to some business of the week. This week, as you know, the details of property tax allowances have been released have been announced in the country. And during the election campaign, we had one very busy councillor in the studio. That was Eugene Greenan, and Eugene was all talk about the property tax, and he's a very busy man. And we caught up with him today as he was at a meeting when I rang him, and he was at a meeting since then. He has to rush off to another do later this evening. And Eugene, you're actually welcome to the studio, Eugene, back again. Busy councillor, as I say. And you did put the motion towards the council that you want to reduce the property tax and by 15%. Is that right, Eugene? Get my facts right?
Yeah, I suppose we'll give a bit of background. Like yourself, Anya, and every other person in Cavan Town, you had many candidates for the election knocking your door and throwing you promises, and their manifestos had promises in them, and a majority of them had the promise that if they got elected, they would look towards a reduction in the local property tax. Now, 18 of us got elected, and at the first meeting where we had the chance to do to put forward such a motion, I was the only one out of 18 people, supported by the Sinn Féin councillors as well, I must say, that put forward the motion to reduce the property tax by 15% in Cavan. Now, I did so with a caveat in that at that stage the Minister hadn't issued any of the regulations or guidance towards how things were going to change, what central government funding that we were going to get like we did in the previous years, and how much of the property tax we were going to keep and how much was going to come down from Dublin and the other counties that would have much higher revenue for such a tax. So we did so with a caveat, but there was a deadline. I had to go to public consultation for the full month of August, and it was published, as far as I know, in local media and the Cavan County Council website. Now, I was on an interview today with another media source in the region who could tell me that only one person in County Cavan actually wrote to the council with their asking for the property tax to be reduced, which is very surprising and very unfortunate. So if we roll it up now forward to what happened yesterday, the new minister, Minister Kelly, who took over from Minister Hogan, issued the guidelines finally, which showed that Cavan was going to be apportioned some money through the equalisation fund. And what the equalisation fund is, just to explain, is that in the areas where in each county where they get the local property tax, 80% stays in the county and 20% goes into this equalisation fund. And so all those the 20% goes into one big pot, and they assess then what counties fall short of previous funding, and we'll plug the hole with this equalisation fund. So essentially what came out yesterday was that Cavan's going to have the exact same funding in 2015 as it did in 2014.
Okay, slow down there, Eugene, now. So when did you get the word of the central government funding? When did you access? Was that yesterday?
That was yesterday, yeah.
Well. So you don't really have time to look into the facts and figures, but it's staying the same, you're saying? Staying
the exact same, and just two things on that, I suppose. One thing is, perhaps, and I'm quite aggressive about this, but perhaps like idiots, we actually thought that by paying this tax that we'd actually get some benefit in our local community.
That was
this was the tagline. This was the cell line, which has been complete nonsense because we're not getting anything. It's all disappearing. We're only going to get what we ever used to get. So that's the main problem at the moment. And the second thing is that by equaling to what we got in 2014, people don't realise, and maybe the government don't realise, is that 2014 was rock bottom. The resources that were available, even compared to 2011 when things were tough, it's a constant decline. So, there's a missing 400 or 500 million euro here that's missing. Okay.
This is for the Cavan area alone.
No, this is for globally. Nationally.
Yeah.
What they used to do historically to fund local government was that they took your motor tax money, which was about 450 million. They used to take from the motor tax money and divvy out amongst the county councils. So now what they've done is they've introduced the local property tax, and we're going to pay this, and that's going to fund local government. So where is the motor tax money going to go? It's going to go towards paying off our bad debts to the banks and items like that.
Yeah.
So essentially, no matter what they can say, this is just another form of tax, not even income tax. And where it's completely unfair is, let's say, I live in my house and I earn my salary. Next door is a pensioner who, fair enough, might have earned salaries throughout their lifetime, but now they're probably, confined to just a state pension. And they have to pay the exact same tax on their house as me, even though that their income might be substantially less than mine.
I think we have the same argument with the water rates as
Yep.
well. Okay, so Eugene, to get back to the thing, and the brunt of the thing is, and we heard it in the media, that people are afraid, especially in Dublin, they're afraid that the shortfall, what's going to happen? Already, as you say, things are rock bottom. Things can't get any lower. And year after year, if they stay at rock bottom and don't get any better, our service is it's diminishing.
Well,
This is the fear.
It's all about services. The hope that was had for the local property tax, if it had been implemented the way it was sold, was that local services would grow and would be built upon. And what I mean is libraries that we have sitting, perfect buildings full of books in stock, that's only open a couple of days a week. And we also have the road network. Now, the national road network and the local road network are two different things in terms of funding and who takes care of what. You've got the National Roads Authority. But with your by roads and your secondary roads and stuff, you have Cavan County Council, who do get funding from the department.
You must admit, though, in recent years that the repair of those roads has not been up to scratch. Isn't that right?
Well, to defend Cavan County Council and on this issue is that we've sacrificed so much. I've gone through the budgets for the last couple of years and the accounts for the last couple of years, because coming in fresh to this, I have to be ready to approach the upcoming budget as well to see what we can do on that. But our fund, Cavan County Council has itself to the limit what it can give itself in terms of the roads. We've taken as much as we can from every other service or department to put into the roads to try to maintain that for infrastructure, for business, for homeowners and everything. But if we look at it on a graph, and I've seen it, that funding is back at the mid-1990s levels, and we know what life was like back in the mid-1990s. Well, I was only a young lad, but it's the road network has grown even so much more since the mid-1990s, but yet we only have the same amount of money as then, too.
It's not progression.
So it's no progression at all. And I suppose one of these, and I'll be, it's one of the motions I have coming up in this week's next Monday's council meeting is. We're in the budget season now, and it's the season of scaring people. It's the season of scaring people, and then what we'll do is we won't make it as bad, and geez, we're the heroes. And the government at the moment are on about easing pressure on people and easing maybe the tax burden. Well, we've got two new taxes, and that's obviously the local property tax and the water charge. Now, what the government are talking about doing is maybe doing some sort of easing and through the marginal tax rates, which is all well and good. But what you need to do is help the people, like the pensioners, even you think of the part-time students who come home at the weekends and work. The USC is the killer here. It kicks in at such a low rate and takes. It might only be 4% of your salary, but at a low rate. But when you're only earning €100 at the weekend and you see that €4 disappear, every little counts for everyone on the lower wage. So what one of my motions on Monday now will be. This 400 million that's disappeared into central government funding, central government, is going to be divvied out into some sort of favours in the budget. And what I want to see is if any relief comes in the next budget, I'd love to see the USC abolished, but there's not enough money to do that yet, is the ease to be given through the USC.
Okay, you've answered my next question. I was going to ask you, Eugene, and you did say that in your election campaign, that you could see, and you would have been afraid that this property tax is going to be used up not in the way that we were promised, and that has happened, and we can see that now. And I was going to ask you, what you're in there now as a councillor, and what way could you speak up as you do, rightly so? What did you see? What could be done to kind of to counteract that?
To counteract the reduction that we're going to see.
What do you think is the way to handle it? Like, you know, to count.
What we're going to see now is we're going to see the budget.
You do want to see the universal social charge reversed on the lower income tax. That would be one way to alleviate it.
Yeah, and at a local level, all we can do is lobby the minister on that. So what happens is I'll put forward the motion. I'll be backed by my Sinn Féin colleagues. I know that much, and we'll you know, a lobby letter, I suppose, will be sent to the minister for him to consider. But it's nothing more than what our spokesperson of finance, Pierce Doherty, is already doing. But if the minister sees it coming from several different county councils, he might take it. Because what we don't want is to happen is that, you know, our current government seems to take the stand of making life easier for the wealthy. Excuse me. And if you take 1% off a higher rate of tax, or you know, at the wrong end, it won't have the impact.
Seriously though, you're a tax. You know, you're an accountant by trade,
and tax consultant, yeah.
And a tax consultant, so you know the facts and the figures. And you're in there now. Can you see? Is there any way the council can use facts and figures? Can you see anything you can do, or to balance the council's books there? Can you suggest anything on the ground?
Well, what's happened is, you know, as I mentioned a few moments ago, I requested of the finance department of Cavan to get the last few sets of budgets and accounts to see where money's been going. I've highlighted such a thing as the multi-storey car park. We've discussed that to death at this stage, to try to find where money is leaking in the council, to see where we can save. We can, you know, where we can save it. Now, if we were to proceed with a 15% reduction in the local property tax after getting the facts from yesterday, you know, with the money, we have to find €550,000. Now, seeing that nobody's willing to do anything productive with me on the multi-storey car park, €550,000 is hard to find when you're trying to cut expense rates and stuff like that. It's just near impossible. It's not near impossible. It's completely impossible. And what's going to happen is the likes of Cavan, the multi-storey car park, which people are sick to death of hearing me talk about, but it is just such a drain. And there's not.
Well, we know the reasons for that. They have no choice but to buy it.
Well,
down that road,
we've gone down that road, but at the same time, there's, and I'm going to get slapped on the knuckles for saying this. There is a mentality in the chamber of let's not change anything. Let's just do it the way it was done. And I know there's looks of, you know, let's just say some people in there aren't happy with me going and rocking the boat, and I've only been in there 2-3 meetings. And unfortunately, they have 5 years of me, you know.
Well, so keep on rocking it. But what's next? Now, we're afraid we've been hit with the water, we've hit with the local, you know, property tax, and now the water charges. Please, Eugene, tell us, the next budget's coming up. Is there anything else out there we don't know about yet?
You know, well, I think.
What else can you do? What about, like, you know, when you do water, then the disposal and all sorts of things, like any.
I think they've exhausted new types of tax at this stage.
Okay.
What we need to see is, you know, what they're telling us is they're going to ease up on the austerity side of things. So they can do that in either one of two ways. They can either ease up on the taxing, or they can increase on the expenditure by, you know, investing into maybe new hospitals or whatever it may be. What you're going to see is a lot of hot air. You're going to, you know, there's going to be a lot of hot air over the next couple of months.
But I saw somewhere in the media this week, just one headline jumped out at me, Eugene, and said that for the government to give us back €1 extra, or, you know, to give us back €1 extra in our pay, or 1% extra in our pay, it'll cost like multi-billions, like, to give us that back, you know.
Yeah, and that's why
and we don't realise
that's why that's where they're leaning more towards maybe reducing, you know, the lower rate of tax, or moving the tax bands.
What about the super rich then? Is that favouring them? Could we say no?
Well, yeah, like, you know, any reduction at any level will favour them. And what we're saying is a reduction has to come in at such a level to favour the working class and the part-time workers. There's people out there who don't want to be unemployed, and they're going out working 3 days a week because that's all they can find, and we can't have them be disadvantaged more than, you know, what someone at a higher income is being. You know, the effective rate of tax for someone earning over you know, 32,800 hasn't changed throughout all the bad times. Like, if you're earning for every penny or euro you'd earn over 32,800 at the moment, you're paying 52% tax. That's tax, PRSI, and USC. That's no worse than what it was during the good times. There was only more reliefs and benefits back then. So the USC has come in and taken so much of the middle section, to lower to middle section of society, and that's where the relief has to be given.
Okay.
Has to be given there.
Okay, Eugene, we've had a question in that's coming online there. It says, why is Irish Water, what's the question again there, Dave? Why is Irish Water is looking for PPS numbers from people? What's that about? Do you know about that?
Yeah, they're looking for the people
in the household. Yeah.
Yeah, for the household, and I think that's
how
that's
legal is that, or what's that?
Sinn Féin are actually. I was speaking to a member of our team today, and they're getting legal advice on the legality of it.
Yeah.
And I think we're looking to hear back on a decision on that. Now we're in a tough one because people are going to be asking us.
That's just to make sure everybody pays and that you're going to be caught or made pay, or it'll be deducted from your wage.
It's a bit like what was the household charge.
It's a bit of a bully tactic, really, isn't
it? It's a bit like what was the household charge that's now the local property tax.
Yeah.
You had to tell them where you lived, and now they know where you live. Yeah. And at that stage, you actually wanted to go to the ESB, I think, and wanted to find out whose name was on every property. So and that wasn't allowed. Yeah. So they're closing in, but there's a thing called self-assessment in Ireland, and I think they have to leave it up to that. There's Irish Water. I don't think anyone has seen a benefit from it yet. I get not as many phone calls, well, a lot of phone calls now with works around the town because water's been turned off and whatever, and the level of service coming from Irish Water is absolutely disgraceful. They couldn't provide me with a contact name or number for someone on call.
We found that as well. We couldn't get in contact or get any information from them at all. And just on the media this week then about Irish Water, they have a big media campaign at the moment to say that all this package will be delivered to every house before the end of October about water rates and how the meters are going to be fixed and all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
they're quite sure on the ball there anyway.
Well, send a nice package, we're paying for it. It's nice you want. And the level of salaries going through there, it's just the biggest quango that was ever set up in this country.
And so the story goes on, Eugene.
Well, just one final point I'd like to make on the property tax is, we've seen a change in minister. We saw Minister Hogan leave, who was just a beast of a man when it came to cuts and imposing new taxes. And we got a new Labour minister into that position, Minister Kelly. And Labour in a position now where they're trying to redeem themselves and damage limitation for the next election. And I think this is a missed opportunity for them, where they could have done bargaining with the government on this and said, we need to keep more local property tax in those areas to build up local services. And they've failed, and I just hope people remember that, because there's an election not too far away. It's not going to be too far away at all, and I just hope people remember this.
Okay, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eugene. You are a very busy councillor, as you said you would be, and you're heading off now on another engagement. Thanks very much for coming into the studio, Eugene,
no problem
and imparting us with that information. Thanks, Eugene. So now we're going to go for a quick break, but please do come back. We've got plenty more guests in the studio this evening. We've got a programme full of great information and great stuff.
I'm Cavan Duffy, and I'm saying watch cavantv.com. It's a great opportunity to see some great programs, and you can watch it all around the globe via the internet and on many platforms. I watch it myself. Great stuff.
Aye, yeah. You see, that is the real Solihan Road on there.
Yeah.
That is the gravel hole just down about 20 paths from here.
Right.
Place where the folks used to congregate in the long ago and have the games, you see. And there's the Bruce Mountain away on the right here, you see, where I often hunted with the bagel hounds,
Right.
you know. And the boys used to play all types of games here at the gravel hole, you know.
That's Bruce over there between the two bushes.
That's Bruce Mountain over there, across there.
Yeah.
And they're running down here behind us in the valleys.
Yes.
And they were glorious days then. Those football games, they were there from the village of Lochgowna. The old Staff Hill is over here on the left, and she goes direct on down to past the mill, the old cotton mill.
Right.
Like Sloane's. And run.
What did you call it? The Staff Hill?
Staff Hill, away there.
Is that town land or what?
No, it's just a road. It's a
road?
steep hill, yeah.
And where's this Greyhound Road, Felix, you mentioned in the
We'll
poem?
be passing it down on the Hollis here.
Right.
Hollis
And this is the winding banks of Erne,
that's the way
down here.
banks of Erne here. And for lakes, rivers, mountains, anything you like, it takes some beating, yes. For the friendly homes and the genuine people, there were some of you could not beat them in the world. No. Oh, there's no doubt.
And them mountains over there, Felix?
Yes,
over here.
The mountains there would be Arkle Mountains on the right.
Yeah.
Across there would be Arkle Mountains.
Right.
And you see...
Okay, so what did you think of that, folks? Well, I'll tell you who that was. That's the late, great Felix Halton. And he's from Lochduff in Cavan, and he was still going on there. That's the late, great Felix Halton. Felix was an 87-year-old man. He never got married, and he died back in 2002. In the studio with me now, I've got Con Halton. And Con, you're going to tell me why he's the late, great Felix Halton.
Okay, Anya, thanks for having me.
I'm intrigued. Go on, tell us.
Felix lived in Drumgore, Lochduff. By coincidence, I'm the same name. We are far out relations, but the reason I'm here is because he was a local man who observed local things and nature at its best and put it into poem and song. He was a self-educated man, having left school at 12 or 13 years of age, and once the local parish priest said to him in later life, "Felix, where do you get your taste for putting poetry and song together?" And his response was, "It's too bad, Father, that education and universities tweaks a person's natural ability to express yourself." So that was it. It was in his nature, and he did express himself. He was a natural genius of his time. It's only now that it's come to fruition that people realise what he has done. He was once in a million.
This is where we get to the story now, folks. Felix, did he write a little bit? He didn't write down his poetry or his songs. He composed them himself and he put them out there. And you also said that he was a great man for if somebody had a wedding coming up or an anniversary or something like that, he could pen quite easily a story of their life and put all the facts and figures together. And unfortunately that has not been documented until now, and that is what you are in the process of doing.
That's it. Well, I can't take the credit for it. The extended family are involved in it, and our local variety and drama group are involved in it as well. I'm just a small part of a big wheel, a small cog, but we have at this stage assembled in the region of 65 or 66 of his compositions, all original compositions, and we're putting that into book form with some lovely picture illustrations of the local area, Gowna, Mullahorn, Cornafane, and that will be published before Christmas. So
he was a man of that area and very much like an intriguing part of the area, and he spoke the colours of the environment, and he spoke it as he saw it, and of the people as well. And that's the heart of that you do want to capture, isn't it? And folks out there as well, if you want to go onto YouTube and Google Felix Halton, you will see some recordings. We can't play them tonight because the sound isn't very good on them, but you can see some recordings of Felix in his own kitchen, talking his stories and talking his poetries. But to get back to you, to get back to you, you are in the process of putting this together, and you're getting to the heart of the man. It's a pity it wasn't put down, and you know, but it's great for you to do that now. And you have a great big night, we'll talk about that later. You have a great big night coming up on Monday night, and there are people coming from all over to
that's
that
right,
as
yeah.
well.
Well, we have organised this festival running it over during the summer. We decided we'd put all this together, and we applied to Cavan County Council and we told them what we were doing, and we wrote to different people all over the world to see if anybody had any of his original compositions, and there's little pockets of people here and there who are all very much involved in what he wrote, and it's only when people emigrate and whatever they become sentimental about their local area at home.
I'd just like to say on that point, sorry for interrupting into there, that people do log on to us from Australia, New Zealand, New York, London, everywhere, people out there, and they're delighted to hear these stories. Now you're hearing about this book here first, and these are the stories. This is what people want to see, Con.
This weekend we have people from Australia coming to this event. We have people from New York, Canada and England, right around the globe, and all these people would have maybe have some input into some of the, or Felix would have written about some of these people maybe when they were in their infancy or whatever. One of his strong points was he was an immigrant himself when he was a young lad, and he really supported people who decided to emigrate to better their lives.
Tell us about that, Con. You say he emigrated. Where did he go and for how long did he work abroad?
He went to England back sometime in the 30s. That's not very clear when it was, probably in the late 30s. And he came back because his mother was sick, and he came back and he nurtured her to old age. And it was through that whole time when he came back and he had some time on his hands that he put all his observances into word and song. And thankfully at this stage we're happy to say that we have everything captured that he has. So we intend putting this into book form, and we'd really say to people, Christmas is only around the corner and everybody make place in your stocking for this.
So you're going to have your book out before Christmas?
Yes, we're having the book out before Christmas.
And you're going to have it typeset, and you want to have it a nice glossy book.
Yes.
And if there's anybody out there perhaps, Con, that have more stories and more pictures maybe, and
it's still not late.
You're still gathering information.
We definitely want to capture everything and put it into the book. There's pockets of people throughout Ireland who have much more appreciation for the work that Felix has done, and his song and his poetry, even than some of the local people. There's pockets of people. In the last event we ran was people from Clonakilty and Cork there. A lot of people from Wexford, and the biggest majority was from Trim and County Meath.
That perhaps he hit on a note that it was like he hit the core of the note, and hit the core of the people's feelings with the rural thing and all that sort of thing, and it took it out of the Loch Duff or Gowna area, go down to Kilty, what did you say, Kilty? Clonakilty, and people felt the same.
Exactly.
They could recognise themselves in the same.
If you took the name places out of it, everybody could aspire to what he wrote about, and everybody had local characters and local areas, because immigration was something that happened all over the country and whatever. But one of the strong points that he had, and why a lot of these people are coming back to recognise this night, is when them people emigrated in the 70s and 80s and 90s. They went to Felix, and
tell us the story of his good luck blessing that he gave to people.
He would shake a person's hand and look at them through his hairy eyebrows with an honest smile and say, well done, you're a brave person taken to the road. I wish them well, and he would give them a crumpled £20 note to help them on their journey. And many a time that £20 note would not ever be cashed, because it was their good luck charm from Felix and a reminder of what they were sent away with.
Okay.
So that's why these people will come back to share with us on our weekend.
So let's talk about this weekend. And it's Monday night, folks, in Michigan's. Tell us the name of the bar.
Michigan's in Kilcogie.
Michigan's in Kilcogie. Big night.
Yeah.
You've got a night of music and a night of Phelim's poetry. And you've got all your guests coming home from Australia, Canada, England, New York.
And we have entertainers from all over Ireland, some of the top entertainers from Ireland, in musicians, dancers, and anybody who can perform in whatever capacity they can is more than welcome to come along. We're having it an early night. Unfortunately, it's on a Monday night, but it so happens to be the only night that suited everybody. We meant to have it during the summer, but with kids away on holidays and everything else, it didn't suit a lot of people. So we went for this weekend. We're having a full packed weekend. On Saturday night, we're having a re-showing of the video of our 2014 show. We have our own drama and variety group.
What's the name of your group?
Just Mullahoran Drama and Variety Group. This year, our show, we had 43 in our cast. It was impossible to get everybody again together to re-show it again, so we're having a video showing in the hall on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Refreshments at half time, and anybody who wants to give a voluntary donation will just go to the upkeep of our fine hall there in Mullahoran. Then on Sunday we're having an open music session in Mulhorn Hall again, starting at 5:30 just after the hurling final. Hopefully it doesn't go to extra time. And
tight schedule there, Con.
yes, we're running that until 8 o'clock because we are aware that a lot of young people involved and have school the next day and whatever. So 2.5 hours of great music, song and dances there
Open
for everybody.
house, everybody in.
An open house there again, a voluntary subscription which will go towards our newly formed Kyoto's branch. We're just in our infancy and a voluntary contribution will be well accepted.
Fair play to you, Con. You're getting all your plugs in there. Now, come on. Now,
Then,
you're going to get to Monday night.
Exactly. Monday night then will be the highlight of our weekend. Mixings in Kilcogie. This is the third event of this type. We had two already in Gowna, and it's twofold our aims in this. One is maybe to make some small.
That's what you're going to get in there. This is a fundraiser to get the book up, to get the book out there. So, well, folks, remember that this is to get the book out there and print it.
What we need, we have a voluntary committee, and we want this just to be cost neutral, and we want a book that's very affordable to everyone. So up front, we want to try and raise some funds towards the publication of the book. Really, our night is twofold. One is for entertainment. The second thing is to get an awareness out there of the talent that was in our locality. And when the book is published, that these people say, I want a copy of that book. We want an idea in advance of how many books we want to print, because we don't want 300 books sitting in the bottom of somebody's press forevermore. We want this book to be out and share with everybody from all over. So that's our aim. If people make a small donation on the night, we will have a raffle, and we have fantastic support from sponsors and everything else with some wonderful prizes, and there'll be something for everyone on the night. But we have a lot of elite characters coming to both recite poetry, recitation and song, and a few dancers. So it's a great night for all.
Fantastic night, folks, in Mishkins in Finney.
In Kilcogie,
sorry,
yes.
I get it right on you.
Yeah.
In Kilcogie, please do go along, and the money towards that will go towards the book. This book that's going to come out.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. We've got one photograph. We're going to put a photograph of the man up himself. This is Felix now. There he goes. Yeah. There he goes, as natural as that's like, you know, the picture with the book A Moment in Ireland, or the faces of Ireland. That's it, doesn't it? That face tells a story, a million stories.
It does. That tells a million stories.
That tells stories.
That was the man.
Okay, so well done. Thanks so much for coming in. We're flying along tonight. That's it, folks. Michigan's in Kilcogie
Monday night.
On Monday night, go along, and I think Cavan TV is going to be there on the night as well. It's going to be a great night. Okay, please take a break and do come back. I've got plenty more guests lined up in the studio. Do come back.
I'm Cavan Duffy, and I'm saying watch cavantv.com. It's a great opportunity to see some great programs, and you can watch it all around the globe via the internet and on many platforms. I watch it myself. Great stuff. I'm Cavan Duffy, and I'm saying watch CavanTV.com. It's a great opportunity to see some great programs, and you can watch it all around the globe via the internet and on many platforms. I watch it myself. Great stuff.
Welcome back, and you're watching Cavan TV's News and Views. Goes out live every Friday night from 7 to 8. Busy studio this evening. We have great guests in the studio. Now, if you remember last week, going back to one of my guests in the studio last week, and that was James Seamus Smith. And James is a cyclist. He took up cycling last year. He took up cycling 4 years ago, and he's taking part in one of the hardest races in Europe apart from the Tour de France, and that is the Cycle Around Ireland. He's actually doing this at the moment. It's going to take him 5.5 days to get around of Ireland. He's going to be cycling full time, just taking an hour to sleep. And he is the only Cavan person to do this solo, the first and the only. Now, I'm very proud to say that tonight I have an only Cavan person, the first and an only Cavan person to do it. Another athlete, and in the studio with me this evening I have got Michael Laverty, and Michael is an athlete from Drummondley in Cavan. Michael, you're very welcome, and with him is his dad Pather, and you're both very welcome to the studio this evening. And Michael, I'm glad to say that you are a first as well. You're the only Cavan person going to Antwerp in the Special Olympics. In Antwerp is in Belgium, isn't that right?
Yes.
Well done. Now, tell me about your success that you've had in the Special Olympics down in Limerick. I see your medals there, but tell us about them anyway.
Well,
I think just to clarify, Michael was on the team for Limerick, on the Ulster team for Limerick, but because he was selected on the Irish team to go to Antwerp, he had to give up his place in the team, the Ulster team for Limerick.
Okay.
So those are medals from the Ulster Games.
Ulster Games. And just as well, Michael, you are going to partake in the 200 sprint, and you're also, turbo javelin thrower, isn't that right?
Yes.
That's what you're going to represent Ireland now. And next Tuesday you're heading out there, the 9th of September, isn't that right?
Yeah.
So tell us about winning the medals.
Kind of easy enough.
Who's your coach?
My coach is Pat Tullen.
Mm-hmm.
And now could be Paul Sutney. He is the coach from Team Ireland. I won these medals for 200 meter sprint, javelin, and relay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you must be quite proud. You are the only Cavan person to go through. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
It's great for the club. It's great for the Breffni Blues to have somebody going.
I was just going to mention the Breffni Blues because we had them in the studio before that occasion, and they were putting a lot of athletes through, and it was a great buzz around the time. Of course, they had to raise the funds as well. There was great buzz around it, and we were keeping an eye on it. We had young McGarren there from Ballinya was doing the swimming as well, and we had Deirdre Brady as well, and Deirdre is very much involved in the swimming. And you've come back, and now you're the one athlete that's going to go to Antwerp you're heading on Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the procedure there when you get to Antwerp?
To get to Antwerp.
Yeah, what are you going to take part? You're going to take part in the 200 meter sprint.
The first few days, Michael is with a family, and the event proper starts on Sunday. So the team go together, and they'll be acclimatising for the first few days until the opening ceremony, which is Saturday. Is it Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday, yeah.
Okay. Now, we were able to throw up, and thank you for bringing in. We have a few pictures of the games. We have, now, talk us through here now.
That's from Limerick. Who's that, Michael?
That's Egon.
He's also a winner, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
Go on, tell us who's this now? What have you won?
That's me.
Aye.
My best friend, Cavan News.
Where's Kevin from?
He's from Cavan.
All right. Okay. And that's you after winning your medal.
No.
Who's that, Michael? You need your glasses.
I think I need them too. Yeah.
Keep
Okay.
move on.
Okay, move on. Here we
That's
are.
you with the bull.
Oh,
The bull
me.
haze.
Now this is the turbo traveling.
Yeah.
This is turbo javelin. Okay.
These are training shots that Sheila Rooney took last week of Michael.
There's Mum in the background.
That's
This is
swimming.
swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That's me. I came first.
that was that was the Ulster Games, I think. Yeah, that was the Ulster Games. And that's you with those medals.
That's this.
Yes. Okay.
And that's the team.
yeah.
That's the crew at the Ulster Games, at the athletics, and that's more of the Breffni Blues down at one of their sports, which is bowling on a Tuesday down in the bowling alley here.
With Andy Murray's in
And
there.
Andy's in the middle there. Yeah, Andy presented prizes to the group.
Okay. Right. Okay. Now, I guess a lot of training had to go on, and you're still training, obviously, when you're going to head off on this Tuesday. Does much of your time go on training, Michael?
I trained, every day, I think.
At the moment, yeah.
Give us an idea of what you do every day, Michael, about your training, exactly.
I train just javelin, 200 metres. In Dublin, I train those things and relay.
The relay. Because Michael's on, you're on the...
I'm on Team Ireland.
For the relay.
For the relay.
As well as being the Cavan representative on Team Ireland as well.
Yeah.
That stuff. Okay, so now when you get out there, do you think, are you like apprehensive about the standard of the other athletes when you get out there, or do you just think, just go with it or whatever?
I think just go for it.
Just go for it. You're not looking into stats and stuff and saying how good they are and all that. You're just going to go out there and go for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't stop me.
Well, I wish you the very best of success, and I have a feeling we'll have you back in the studio to tell us about your success. We wish you the very best from Cavan TV and from everybody in Cavan. You're representing Cavan, well done, as you head off to Antwerp on Tuesday. Thank you very much, Paddy, for coming into the studio, and Michael, and the best of luck, Michael, okay? Yeah. Okay, thanks, another short break, and we've still got more guests to come. Please stay with us. You're watching Cavan TV News and Views.
I'm Cavan Duffy, and I'm saying watch cavantv.com. It's a great opportunity to see some great programs, and you can watch it all around the globe via the internet and on many platforms. I watch it myself. Great stuff. I'm Cavan Duffy, and I'm saying watch CavanTV.com. It's a great opportunity to see some great programs, and you can watch it all around the globe via the internet and on many platforms. I watch it myself. Great stuff.
And welcome back to Cavan TV's News and Views. You're watching Cavan TV's News and Views live every Friday night from 7 to 8. And I have a very busy studio this evening. My last set of guests. Well, now what can I say about the summertime? This summer has been a very busy summer for people out jogging, doing fun walks, doing runs, doing cycles, doing triathlons, doing everything and anything. All out there getting and keeping it. And of course the weather was very good this summer. But we've got one last attempt at something, and we've got peddlers. And that is where the postmen are going to get up on bicycles and cycle for charity. Okay, so to tell you all about that, I have in the studio, I've got Bernie Nielsen, and I'll tell you who Bernie is in a minute, and Kieran Smith. Kieran Smith is a postman, and Bernie is the chairperson of C.A.P.S, and you're going to tell me all about that, Bernie, because I'm just flying here, and that's all about Cavan Autism.
Yeah.
About autism and the welfare of Cavan Autism.
Yes, C.A.P.S, Cavan Autism. I set it up in 2011. I had been fundraising for years for children with autism going to the Holy Family School. So then there was just a greater need. There was children going to mainstream and all of that there, and we started in 2011 with C.A.P.S, Cavan Autism Parent Support, but we call it mostly Cavan Autism for short. And it's just phenomenal the way it's just.
How long has C.A.P.S been up and running again?
2011.
2011. And of course you do have your own interest in that.
Yeah, because my son Liam has autism. He's 16 now.
He's 16 now, so
Yeah.
it's beneficial to him, of course. And this is where you saw firsthand, where you saw the need for these benefits, and these benefits can only come from voluntary work and voluntary.
Because there's no funding. There's no funding, and it costs huge money to run these camps, and all of it, insurance, places, travel, all of it. So it costs huge money for
Every
this,
turn you make,
and there is nothing. No matter how we look, we can't get any funding. No matter oh yes, and you don't fit this category, and you don't fit that category, and that there. So it's all done on the generosity of local people and people like the postmen out there, willing to just think about you and think, oh gosh, we'll do it for those there. We couldn't run any of it. There would be nothing done. Like, we have 53 families on our books in Cavan. Like, we're only dealing with Cavan. There's 53 families, and that's 57 children, because unfortunately there are some families with more than one child.
Okay, so just to give an example out there to our viewers, what kind of things, when you have got the money there, what kind of benefits does it give to children with special needs?
Well, just say for this year now, start in July, for 3 weeks, from the 1st or the 2nd of July, I can't know which date, for 3 weeks we ran a summer camp for children with autism within the Holy Family School. Now, that's just children that attend the autistic unit in the Holy Family School. There was 23 children this year. They come in at 9 in the morning and they're gone home at 3 in the day. Just the normal as school structure as you can. But every day we were out, we were away, we were going. And then when that finished on the 17th of July, We started doing Wednesdays. We did 4 Wednesday trips away for children going to mainstream schools, because there are a lot of children go to different units in Ballinya, Knocktemple, Virginia. You know, there's children goes to different areas. So we done Wednesdays for them, long days as we call them, where they went off at 9:30 in the morning and didn't come back till 6. Each one of them has their own one-to-one carer, because they all need one-to-one care.
And just folks out there, so that you're aware that this is outings and schools and summer schools that none of these children would have been able to go on only for
No,
this.
they couldn't. No, truthfully.
This would not have happened for these people
only
for
for the
money.
generosity of people out there and people supporting. And then I run a camp called the End of Summer Camp. That's the week before they go back to school. That's for children going to the Holy Family. That's for tots, teeny tots. We call it a teeny tot camp. Kids from, they're going to preschool. The parents that are only coming into the system. And we do that for a week. In total we had about 27 kids in total, aged from 4 to 19 or 20. But they went 2 different routes. Like, I mean, we had a tots camp naturally, and then we had the bigger kids that were going away off to Lilliput and all different things. No, but none of it could we do without.
Well, now that brings me to Kieran, and bring you
Yes.
in, Kieran. So, peddlers. So the postmen are going to get up on their bikes and cycle. And I know the postmen do a little bit of cycling in the course of their daily work. It's even going around Cavan Town.
Yes.
And so that brings you in, Kieran. So why have you an interest in doing that now?
Well, in Cavan Town, there's in the past just over 4 years, there's been bicycle posts, cycle posts introduced. And it is just sort of came from that. We always thought we'd like to do something.
On a bike around the town.
Yes, yeah.
You see every morning.
Five, yeah. And it sort of come from that, and we thought, that we'd like to do something for charity. We wouldn't have done that much for charity over the years, and we thought it would be a novel thing. Maybe if the postman could do something, and it sort of came from that. We decided that maybe we should get up on our bikes and do something. And we thought of charities. I have a nephew attending.
Well, now hopefully you're going to get more than the 5 postmen that you have
No.
going around the town. I
We're
think Paul Cox himself,
Yes,
the man himself, is
Paul
going to help
Cox
with
is
the
our PR man.
He's your PR. No better man.
He
can I
is the
tell
Max
you.
Clifford on the post office.
He's
So he's
claimed
good.
by Max.
Yes. So there will be about 20. Hopefully about 20 post people. There may be 2 girls doing it
Great,
as well,
hopefully,
which is
some
great.
women to bring up the rear.
Yes.
So, okay, we're going to get... Now, tell me, when is this going to take place?
It's taking place tomorrow fortnight on Saturday, the 20th of September.
So,
and
folks, keep that date in your... the 20th of September.
Yes.
Where's it starting from and all
It's
that?
starting from the Market Square in Cavan, and we're cycling Cavan to Virginia and back, which is approximately 60 kilometres. So it's going to be tough, but we're willing to...
You do know that there's going to be a hurricane on that day. The weather is supposedly going to be very bad, and you're going to have to put your foot
Nothing's
to the
going to
metal.
stop us now. Training's going full
Well
steam.
done. Seriously though, how are you going to raise the money on the day? How is the money being raised on
Well,
the
at the
day?
moment-
Is it by sponsorship, or can you
Yes.
shake the buckets in the town, or what, Kieran? What way are you going to work?
We're actually doing it by sponsorship cards. We have...
That's a hard old route to go to.
It is, yes. We have 200 sponsorship cards out among the post people, all the postal operatives in Cavan, and Bernie here has taken a lot of cards as well, sponsorship
Okay.
cards.
Now, if on the day as well, Kieran, sorry, and I just want to get these facts out there and straight to the people. If on the day somebody comes across the cycle and they say the post, will you be in uniform or what? Hardly, no.
No,
You'll
not
be
in
in
uniform.
cycling
That
gear.
we will be in cycling gear
In
that
cycling
day.
gear.
Uh,
And so if people come across this, have you got permits to shake in towns?
No,
Not on that day.
not on that day, no.
Unfortunately,
Paul says you're doing
were
a book, I think.
we were thinking of it, but we were a bit late applying for a permit.
the
So,
all-out permit.
but we're hoping it will do just as well the other way.
Yeah.
While-
Because, which I forgot to say, the respite house, I was speaking there about C.A.P.S and Cavan Autism, but the postmen decided to do this run for C.A.P.S and the respite house in Cotillo, which I can't say enough good about them. The only problem, I'm vice chair of it at the minute. When I set it up 5 years ago, I stepped back a bit there 2 years ago, but the girl that took over chairperson got into bad health, and I'm just tiding it over for her for now.
Well, you see, that's what they say, ask a busy lady and you'll get it done. Go on.
Oh God! Oh, don't ask me anymore. But anyways, the respite house is fantastic. It was Kieran's brother, Jimmy, who actually, Lord have mercy, he has died, and he would have been a fantastic man in it. His brother has a son, Stephen, in the respite house, and we had great plans for it. So I was absolutely chuffed when Kieran said we were thinking of doing it for C.A.P.S and the respite house. The respite house doesn't get a lot of, and I'm just after buying. They just approached me last week when we were down. They approached me and asked me, would we have by any chance be able to buy them a load of country music CDs, because a lot of there's 1 week it's 1 week adult and the next week children, but the adults do love their country music CDs and DVDs.
Actually, we have something to talk about your C.A.P.S and give people a more vivid imagination, for a visual effect of what you're doing. We have you've brought in some photographs, and here, there's the poster.
Okay, well that poster is about Getting to Know You Morning. We hold that Getting to Know You Morning the first Tuesday of every month. It's where people come. We always have somebody
where
lined.
Does this take
It
place?
happens in the cabin in the community creche in Ballygymstuff, where we're after purchasing a cabin, just for parents to be able to meet, and you're not having to
Other parents meet other parents.
other parents. Where my son
Support.
is 16, but there come 4 new parents last Tuesday morning.
Yeah, and
4
they were
new
all ahead
parents,
of them, yes.
and
So
yes,
you can
and
tell
you're-
them and talk advice. Okay.
so we just have that there, and our the contact details are on that, and also our website is on the bottom of that leaflet, plus our Facebook page, Cavan Autism Parent Support. The Facebook page can be very busy. Any events that's going on, and the postman's run, bike run, and all that
With
there, the
backtrack.
peddlers.
That's a very catchy logo there. The C.A.P.S and the 2 C.A.P.S. That's good. That's well
it was.
done.
You know what? It took me a good year to come up with
Good
it.
bit of thinking about that.
It
When
took
you got it, that's dead on there now.
And didn't I? It worked out good. Okay, that there is, and this is all thanks to my niece does all this work for me.
She's a graphic artist. Yeah.
She's brilliant. She does all. I just give her the info, and she makes a great hand of it.
This is a Christmas do.
Well, it's a newsletter we put out every Christmas, and it lets everybody see what we do through the year. When you flip that over, there's a 4-page thing, and there's photographs, and the Cavan postman will be in it this year, please God.
Speaking of the Cavan postman, woohoo! Now here we go.
There they are.
Look, this is them in their fine outfits, and their lovely outfits, and not a helmet in sight on them going riding bicycles.
No, that was taken at 6 o'clock this morning. So
was it 6 o'clock this morning? Was it? Oh, bro!
And no sign of Paul Cox in that, is there?
he actually took the picture.
All right, okay.
Do you know what you could have done actually for Christmas and for next year maybe, to just after coming in online there, why don't you do calendar postman shots?
All right, okay.
And you know what that means?
I think we'll stick with the bike run.
Placed envelopes. Okay, now let's get back to the cycle. So it's Sunday week.
Saturday
fortnight.
Saturday fortnight, the
Yes,
20th of September. Okay, so you have to be so you're going to do 120 kilometers on that day.
60.
Oh, you're not going to do it both ways?
It's 30 both
each
ways.
way. Now, come on, guys, that's a dodge.
Yeah, hopefully.
But we will sponsor.
Would you like to see Paul Cox coming back into town after
on the bicycle? Yeah. Okay, I'd love to
He's
see
in
the
training
postman
at the
come in.
moment.
No, seriously, folks. Seriously, there are people out there with sponsorship cards, and we want you to really get a word
to
out
make
there.
an effort.
Have you put the cards anywhere, or who's going around with the cards?
A lot of the families that have children with special needs and also autism are helping out parents and family.
We basically just sent them to
all
families.
users, and all the postal people are going around with sponsorship cards as well.
Post offices in Cavan, of course,
and stuff on Facebook and that too.
Okay, well done.
So that's just our
Anything
poster,
else
which
you'd
will
like
be
to say
going
on
up
that,
in different
Ken?
places. It's going up in shops, filling stations. Just really what we're looking for is people in the Cavan town, in Fyarns and surrounds, that maybe they would sponsor their local postman in some small way. It doesn't have to be big, but every little bit helps.
Yeah.
So it's going to a very good cause, 2 good causes actually.
Okay, so that's it, folks. That's the Peddlers Charity Cycle. It's Saturday fortnight, the 20th of September. Please support your local postman. It's all for charity. Your last word in this, Barry.
Well, I just
Make
wanted
an appeal.
I just want to say a bit. Over the next 2 weeks, we have so much going on. Tesco's and Cavan have started up a community fund where you get a blue token when you shop in Tesco's, and there's a jar there, and it's a fantastic thing. So it's keeping any funding that's going on, and they're paying out €600 at the end of every 6 weeks to a local charity. So if you had a charity out there that you wanted, and Tesco's is doing that. Vincent Dolan, another parent, he's having a charity cycle for us on the 14th of this month out in Mullahorn, same place as your guest before us was, from Mullahorn. Next on Saturday week on the 13th in over in Crishalaw, there's a little old quaint cottage, and the lady has opened it up and she's running this tea day for us in a real old, back to the 300 years ago cottage type of thing. So there are loads of fundraising events going on, and the same for the Respite House.
They'll be all under the heading C.A.P.S.
They'll be all under the heading C.A.P.S, or the Respite House as well. Respite doesn't have a Facebook page, but at the moment it's these bike buys that I really would love people to come out on the day, you know, just to the town square at 2 o'clock.
Yes,
where they're
starting
taking
at
off.
2 o'clock.
They're taking off at 2 o'clock on Saturday the 20th. So it would be brilliant just if people just come out. There'll be sponsored cards there on that day. Like, I mean, people can sign. €2 is all anyone's asking anyone
Every
to give.
little helps.
Every little
Okay,
helps.
so that's it, folks. We have a big full programme tonight, and we're at the end of it now. And that's it. So watch out for that. Peddlers Charity Cycle, Saturday fortnight, the 20th of September, 2 o'clock in the square, and every little helps. Please sponsor, please don't. So I'd like to say thanks to Kieran from the Peddlers and to Bernie Nelson from C.A.P.S. Thank you very much for coming to the studio, and the best of luck with your charity cycle.
Thanks very
Okay,
much.
so that's it from this week. It was a great busy studio tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the programme. I'd like to thank my guests in the studio, to Kieran Smith and Bernie Nelson, to Michael Laverty and his dad Pather, and to my first guest, that was Eugene Green, Councillor Eugene Green, who came in to clear up and verify a lot of points about the council tax and things like that. Sorry, property tax, and the council's stand on that. That's it for this week. Please, it's the weekend. Please do take care. Have a good week, and I'll see you at the same time next week.